Okay, it's review day here at PPA. Are we looking at the future of foam rolling? Stick around to find out. We're here with the Intelliroll. So our friends over at Intelliroll sent us a care package with 3 different Intelliroll foam rollers. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little skeptical of why we need a different type of foam roller. I think the traditional one does a pretty good job of hitting different parts of the body, being fairly compact and versatile. But I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued largely because of the really cool shape that we see here. Now, we have what's called a spine zone. And a spine zone, I can see theoretically makes a lot of sense. This gives a place for the process of the vertebrae to seat in so that it's not being compressed by the foam roller, and then we don't have to move the foam roller necessarily on either side of the spine. We've got these raised surfaces with some texture, which I imagine would feel quite nice. Now, I have played around on it a little bit, and I have noticed that it does feel pretty damn good and fairly intuitive to find the spine, and we're going to take a look in a second how to do that. We have some curved surfaces here known as body zones. Our body and limbs are largely cylindrical in nature, so this makes a lot of sense from a theoretical perspective of being able to cover more surface area of contact when it comes to rolling out the body. So I do like that as well. What I'm out of the gate when I got these, my initial observation was size, quite a bit different. Not a huge deal if you own a space like a gym to be able to store these in and use them, but if you're someone that travels with a foam roller, that could be an issue. Now, they do have a sport model, which is this recycled foam, and it is a little bit shorter. Not too much, maybe an inch shorter or so. Quite a bit lighter, so if you want to strap it to your backpack, I could see that being a little bit of a benefit. And the spine zone has slightly larger dimples on it. So both myself and Kel behind the camera have played around with these, and let's walk through some of the findings that we see. So let's go to the floor really quick. We'll take down now, the blue one here is kind of their medium firm version. The black one is the hardest, kind of most aggressive model they have. And then the recycled foam again would be kind of into that medium firm density. So we're gonna play around with this blue guy right here. And we'll take a look at some of the most common areas that are foam rolled for anybody, athlete or general population. Straight out of the gate, I was drawn to this spine zone. I wanted to know how intuitive of a groove that was and how well it traveled the actual spine. And to be perfectly honest, it does a really good job of seating itself kind of right along those extensors and paraspinals and allowing your body to really kind of intuitively find those areas that are bothersome. I know for Kel, kind of the inside of the shoulder blades always get gummed up and a lot of trigger points. And I know when we had her on the floor, it felt quite good. I like that you can kind of move the arms around. It's very difficult to lose the orientation because of the texture. So it's quite easy to recover the position if you happen to move. These body zones make it really easy to just transition onto, like if you wanted to go from the spine to the lat, feels quite nice actually. And I like how it kind of wraps the outside of the body. Again, it makes it quite easy to move through these ranges of motion. Now, this isn't a foam rolling tutorial video. This is a review. So if you're looking at what I'm doing and saying, hey, what is that? Watch our other videos. We'll do another one for you. But this feels quite nice in here. I do like these body zones. You can roll the body forward and back, and it does feel like that surface area plays a big difference. So that's a win out of the gate. The body zones and the spine zones are doing what they say they're doing. For me, with a foam roller, I think it's always about, does it check all the boxes I'm looking for? Which, number one is going to be durability. So initial kind of early stage iterations of foam rollers and the recycled foam, I found after like a lot of use, they would deform. Now, this recycled foam is high density, and I can't imagine it will do that in the slightest, but there's some other foam rollers that would end up with these kind of imprints in the middle. And if you've used foam rollers a lot, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So I do like the durability of this product. It feels hefty. It's got some good manufacturing behind it. So that's always a plus. It makes it quite easy to transition from parts of the body. And I think the big win is how intuitive of a product it is. Meaning it's easy to find the areas of restriction because the kind of curvilinear surface here really wraps to the body. So it makes you very aware of, like for instance, if I'm in the hamstrings and I have some adductor tightness, right? Because this wraps the inside, it's going to find that adductor tissue and give you a little bit of that feedback. So it tells me, hey, maybe it's time to get in and work those adductors. I like that as well. I'm just going to do a really quick comparison. Yeah, you know what it is? It's like when you throw a traditional roller back on, it kind of feels like the traditional roller just kind of smashes the tissue flat. Like there's a smaller contact area, right? So if you think about this logically, it's that the contact area of this roller and this area are different. The amount of surface area this will touch is a lot smaller than this. So this kind of flattens the tissue out and flattens the muscle bellies out and just kind of presses them out to the side, where this kind of, it hugs them, gives them a nice, yeah, this feels great. It feels like a nice sweet little hug for the bum. A bum hug. Let's get up here and give a bum hug. Yeah, and you can turn it sideways. This is good. I'm discovering this kind of real time with you guys. It's like, how is best to use this product? Like this angle, if we take this perpendicular, sorry, let's call it parallel instead of perpendicular because that's what it is. If we take it parallel to the femur, right along that glute, like I can get right into those external rotators, I can get into the glute max and get that nice little bum hug like we talked about. I like that a lot actually. And then it's quite comfortable while still being effective, because I think that's the big thing is you go, oh, it's comfortable, it means it's not working. You don't have to have pain to be getting effects from a foam roller and soft tissue work. The myofascial release, really what we're doing is restoring healthy blood flow to tissues that might have built some quote unquote dysfunction in the muscle, and we're just restoring those sliding surfaces. So this is doing an excellent job of really kind of cradling that fascial network no matter where we're putting it. I really like this. So I'm kind of leading to my final decision. I'm like, I really like this. Anyway, probably less about me right now, more about you and figuring out whether or not this is worthwhile. So I think out of the gate, questions I would have are, okay, size-wise, okay, we could probably work with that. I do believe that if you tried to make these smaller, you'd sacrifice these body zones. So I get why they've went with a certain width of roller as well. It does cradle the shoulder blades quite nice. So I get the size. Price-wise, this may very well be where your decision is hindered one way or another. This is quite nice. This is a, I think, $29 product, the high density foam, and it works quite well. I know I didn't play around with it with you guys, but it feels almost identical. It's quite a lot lighter. It may very well have a little bit less durability over time, but if you're an athlete that keeps this in the house or in your gym, I think it'll do just fine. If you're traveling with it, wear and tear, who knows? Look at this foam roller. Like our dog chewed it. So like, what are you gonna, sometimes things just happen and it works just fine. Then we get into these price points here, and I'll put the price on the screen right now, but I believe they're around $54 or $55, and that's somewhat comparable to a higher end foam roller. Actually, let's go over here for a second. I do have a couple other rollers that are, so this is the grid roller by Trigger Point, and if I'm not mistaken, when I bought this grid roller, it was like 60 or 70 bucks. They're pretty expensive. It has that kind of PVC insert. I liked it because of the durability, and it's super high density. I mean, this is more like a torture device at times than it is a foam roller. And then our trigger point roller here, I believe, was another, $30, $40 to get something like this. So they're competitive in price, and to me, quite effective. What did you think, Kel? You liked them?
I did.
You did, I know you did. You liked them a lot. So
actually it appeared in my neck.
That's right. So Kelly really enjoyed the feeling of the foam roller, the spine zone in kind of that occiput region and just under the crest of the skull. Quite difficult to get it with a flat roller, to find, the spine zone allows you to get right up into the base of the neck, whereas the flat roller, again, it just kind of mashes things. That's not to say that if you have a traditional roller, you can't get good tissue work out of it, but I will conclusively say that these rollers feel more effective and theoretically make a lot more sense and are quite competitive with their pricing. I'd recommend them. That's our dog out there, by the way. Check out Intelliroll. I'm going to put the link in the profile below. If you liked this video and this review, you want to see more reviews, let us know below what you'd like for us to review, and we'll do our best to get that for you. Make sure you subscribe to our channel. We have a lot of great content, from training all the way through to technique tutorials. If you're a jumper, this is the place to be. I can promise you that. If you're an athlete that doesn't jump, you are going to get a lot of benefit out of being part of our family. Much love from us here at PPA. We appreciate our friends at Intelliroll. I'm not sure why I'm holding that still. We appreciate our friends here at Intelliroll. Thanks so much for sending it our way. And again, check them in the link in our profile. We'll talk to you soon.